In this video, I'm going to show you how to build an awesome island home. So this place is located right here on the map. This is the backside of the islands, opposite side that you start on. And there are these islands back here off the coast. And in order to build on these, normally you won't be able to reach them. But I'm going to show you a method of how to reach them so that you can bring logs here so that you can just easily go. Obviously, you could swim, but that's an awful way to do it. So how to connect it with zip lines. And then also, I'm going to show you all sorts of cool stuff. We have a zip line up to the top. We have this cool home that we built, multi-layer. We have like the lookout tower style rope. We can go down into this thing. I mean, this thing's super cool. I'm going to show you how to like build this house, but I'm also going to show you how to build on this island in general. So to build on that island, there's a few different ways to do it. I'm going to show you all the ways we go about this. So no matter which way you do it, the first thing you're going to need to do is get some logs over there, or get logs over there in general. There's something we have to build there, and there's something we have to build over here. So what I'm going to do is lay down a post like this, and then I'm going to do another post like this. And this is something we're going to make that will, if we do it right, it will let us shoot logs over to the base, over to the island, and actually have them land on the island itself. So now what we're going to do is get up on top of this, and from this high angle, we're going to look up and then start looking down while clicking until we find whatever, you know, max distance we can do with the zip line. And then we're going to attach it to this. And now, if we're lucky, if we got this right, what will happen is the logs will go underwater, but also very close to the other shore. And then they'll launch out of the water up onto the island. So let's see if it worked out. There they go. Now, if I did it wrong, they'll go too far. And it looks like they landed perfectly. I can see them landing on the other shore. So I could transfer logs with this system by just taking logs and doing this. And that will generally work. But we're going to make a much fancier way to do this. It's going to be a little more consistent, a little bit safer, and just a lot cooler. Let me show you another way that we can get to that island. The first thing we're going to do is, now that we have some logs over there, I'm just going to go ahead and remove it. Although really, you're going to want to do this till you have like 70 logs over there or something like that. But once you're done, you're going to remove that. And then I'm going to disassemble this for now. I don't really need it right this second. We're going to make a way to connect this directly with Zipline so you don't have to swim over there. And in a later video, I'm going to show you guys how to make ocean bridges, but we're not going to do full-on ocean bridges in this video. Make sure you're subscribed for that. But anyway, so what we're going to do here is we're going to first off have to build an ocean platform or whatever, and we want to find out the two closest points. So the closest point over there is where I have some of those wooden walls on that rock. There's an area that juts out kind of far that you can build on, sort of. So we're going to try to line up with that to minimize the amount of distance. And in order to get more distance, we're also going to make, like I said, a pier real fast. So if you've never seen my how to build on water video, you're about to learn how to do it. So we're going to build something like this, and then we're going to cross log, and now what we can do is go down like that. And then we can do the same thing on the other side. Not like that. We can do that. And then we can come down here and we can attempt to pick this up. And maybe it'll let us do it. Okay, let us do it. Once it gets too deep, it won't let us do it. So we're going to do this in order to build out a pier as far as we can. If you run into any issues when doing this, you can just go check out my how to build on water video. All right, so I built out as far as I possibly could with this water building method. And we came up about this far, which was a lot further than I was expecting. Now, at this point, we're already almost able to connect to the island. Although I can't really take the zip line because how low that is. But we're already getting pretty close to being able to zip line to the island right there. So what we'll need to do is build another one on the side, on the other side. And I'll show you more detail on this other one as I build it, so you can see more of the process of how to do water building. So we're going to put down 2 posts. And I'll try to get them symmetrical with the other side as much as I can. Good enough. And then we're going to put down, again, same thing. We're going to put down these angled ones like this. And then we're going to go on the other side. We're going to put down one here. And I'm going to put one here just so I can cross over. And then we're going to grab 2 more. And we're going to put one down here. And now we're going to do this thing where we lift up the end like this. And then in that case it worked. Sometimes, but once it gets deeper, it won't work like that. So now we're going to go to this one. And we're going to put it like this. And then we're going to come back around and get back on. And then we're going to put one down. And then we're going to grab more logs. We're going to come up here. We're going to put one down over here. Now what we're going to do, this one might throw us away. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so then it'll do that. It'll put it in this bugged out state. And in order to fix this, what we're going to have to do is, so we can't go to the end. We can't build. So I'm just going, I only want one in my hand at a time. So what we're going to do is put one right here. And once we put this one down right there, then suddenly we come to the end. And we can find this. And we can do the second time. On the second time, it normally will work, or it'll do this, which is actually kind of rare that it just did this. So I'm going to have to pick this back up. It made a super one that is just like crazy. So we're going to have to put it back down, and then we're going to have to try again, which, again, that's really rare. I've only had that happen a few times, but sometimes that happens. So now that time we got lucky. It just went ahead and put it down. And building these water bridges is always some kind of crazy ordeal like that, where it's just going to be kind of wacky as heck. So I'm going to keep up this process. I'm not going to make you guys watch more of this. I'm just going to go ahead and build this one out as well. And at that point, we should be able to connect this with zip lines. Also, I want to stop for a moment here to show you just how glitchy some of this water building can get. Look at this thing. Oh my goodness. So now we're reaching the limit of what I can build. That's what I'm talking about. So now we're doing another one. And it's going so deep in the water that I'm going to crouch walk down to try to find the end. Once you hit the point where you have to like get down and barely can get in there before you start swimming, that's how you know that you're not going to be able to go very much deeper. All right, so we have hit the depth limit at this point. I definitely cannot go any deeper than that. I'm going to go ahead and put some planks on this, and then let's look at the zip lines. Okay, so the pier is now finished, so it goes out like this. So now we can probably zip line across. Let me go ahead and set these things down. Oh, wow, I didn't mean to do that. Definitely don't want that down. We cannot go any further. I mean, we could walk on that, but it's just, we don't want it to be that clunky. So now let's see if we can reach the other side. And it looks like we can, in fact, reach the other side. But now what we're going to do, because we've gone so far on reaching the other side, we're going to move it back some so that we can actually land on this thing instead of coming up short and landing in the water. So let me just grab some more logs real fast. We're going to make, for now at least, this. For temporary, we're going to shoot it right here and do this just so I can get back. All right, so now we're going to go back to the other side, and we're going to set up something similar. We're going to get rid of this. We're also going to get rid of the old one, reload our gun. All right, so now the time has come. If I can aim on that thing, good God, trying to find the crosshair sometimes. There we go. There we go. And now let's test it out. Okay, so it looks like now we can zip line across. For most of you, this is probably good enough. There's a way I could make it fancier, and I was going to make it even fancier, but, you know, I realized after doing this one, this is pretty much good for most of you. I'll cover it in another video. Make sure you're subscribed for that video, because I'm going to make one on how to make, like, actual ocean bridges and all sorts of crazy stuff. But for now, for this video, let's just stop there so we can get started on the actual island base. So now you can make an island base whenever you want. You can ship logs back and forth using the zip line. So now we're connected. So now you're just going to ship logs over, and then you're going to get started building your base. So some tips for building on this island. You're going to need to know some advanced building techniques because the ground is so unlevel, or whatever the word is. It's not level at all. So say I want to build struts, for example. So I'm going to connect these, make sure these actually are the line connection. And then let me grab some more logs and show you how this can get weird. So now we're over here, and there's like no way to make that line. I guess we can make the line connection, but the height is going to be wrong. So it just leaves us with lots of weird options to try to figure this out. Like if we want to make this into a strut, what are we going to do? Like this wants to go down onto that. We could, in theory, add a support to this, and then we could cut a log in half, and we could stick a half log on top of this log in order to try to get it. Okay, this one doesn't want to go, so we're going to have to put another brace right next to it, and then we're going to have to grab another log and then put it across, and then maybe we can put this, if this will even let us. And now we can put that, and then we can grab one of these, and you see what I mean about building on this island is actually going to take some very advanced building skills. So make sure you know your advanced building skills before committing to this. And also, if you need help with advanced building guides, check the description of this video. I have lots of advanced building guides for Sons of the Forest. So instead, I opted for this. Let's see if I can put an angle brace in here. And I don't know, do I have the other half log? I wonder if I can jam one down into here. I'm very curious. All right, I got it. And now let's see if I can remove these. I can. Hell yes. So we can do something like this to build the foundation for a giant base, even when we're on such unlevel ground. And because it's early access, at least when I made this video, you're going to run into weird problems. Like, I can't put struts on this one for some reason, so this one's going to have hideous support pillars and things in random places. It's kind of unfortunate. Tip with these struts, so this wasn't here until I put this angled one down. So if you get a corner, it won't let you do it. Try putting another one down like at a 90-degree angle, and then sometimes it'll let you put the strut. All right, thankfully, it looks like I'm going to be able to put the struts on without anything crazy over here. And then over here, we'll see this one. Hopefully, it'll work. All right, it did. All right, so now we can remove these support beams. And now we have a beautiful foundation to build upon, even on this crazy island. Now, to build the floor, I'm probably going to have to do struts across the middle in 2 different rows. So I'll probably just do it this way. I mean, I could do it either way I want, but I'll just do it from this side to this side. And then I'll be able to, or actually I'll need 4 more struts of running across, so that way I can put planks down for a floor. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to put this back on and then lift one up. And I'm going to have to, I'm actually going to have to keep these on one side in order to have this. So I'm going to pick 2 sides that actually have the support beams on them in order to build across. So I'm going to do it this way because that side has that part over there that's going to be kind of ugly anyway. And then we'll leave this side and that side as the open side. I ran into some weird issues trying to put struts on this side. Maybe this tip will help you guys if you run into this. So instead, I took everything off and then I put one down like that and then tried to lift it with a strut right here in the corner. And there we go. Yeah, like that. Then let me put the strut on the corner, and that saved the day. So if you run into that issue, maybe that will help you as well. And then I can also just do that now. So I've realized it's actually better just start with a strut on the side if it will let you, like this, before you even get going. That might be a better play. So definitely consider doing it like that, and that'll like make that problem less likely to happen in early access. And I'm realizing now I probably could have done the same thing over here on the other side, which I'm going to try to fix now. See if I can do that 1 layer back. It might not work, though, because it's so far into the ground. But I was able to remove these then and make the whole thing nice the whole way across. Unfortunately, it's bugged out of its mind now, so I'm not even going to dare try to put a strut back in here since it won't let me. We're just going to have to leave that like that, but you could fix it in yours if now that you know that maybe that would work. And another issue you can run into is if your log is too high to put back in the strut, you have to cut it down. So this one needs to be a 3/4, and I had to cut it ahead of time, or else it wouldn't let me put it in. You guys want to see something really weird with early access? The strut over here would not let me put anything, but finally put a 1/4 log was the only thing I could put, and now it's gonna let me try to brace it with a 3/4 log, which then is gonna do this to my wall. So be very careful with struts. I should not have pulled out the side ones before trying to build crossways. I should have thought ahead and built it crossways before pulling these out. It messed everything up. I may have to redo the entire thing. So thankfully, I was able to just pick everything up over here and then put it back down, which was an actual lifesaver. So now I can put this strut in, and then I can pick up a normal log, cross that gap, hopefully remove this now. We were able to fix that one, and now this one's all prepped and ready to go. Thankfully, it wasn't too bad. Another weird issue with these struts that I should have dealt with ahead of time, which was setting things off to the side. I can't build a ramp off the side of it now. The whole thing is just extremely bugged out. It was not this case when I first put down the sides, but now that I have, I can't build off. So I should have done that before building across. I'll have to find a creative solution. All right, more early access weird building. All I do is put a strut back in here, and now suddenly I can build off of this one. So I guess I'll just have to go with that and then build like a ramp right here. Okay, so with some non-repeatable witchcraft, I put down a 3/4 log and then a full log, and let me put it there, but it's something I can't repeat over here for some reason. Be careful with these struts, guys. This is a dangerous, crazy way to build. You guys cannot believe the amount of witchcraft that I had to pull in order to make this happen. 3/4 logs across, a 4th log stacked on top. I had to strut on the side temporarily, all sorts of crazy stuff. But finally, I actually got this thing sorted out to where I can actually have a center symmetrical staircase on the side, which is going to look so much better when this is done. So now I need to decide what to build here. I think I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm just going to have basically a square, and I'm going to have the roofs go from one side up to the other. We'll see if I do any fancy roofs or not. I'll have to decide as I go. I just realized because this is, whatever this is, 6 squares or whatever, there's actually no way to make a symmetrical roof on top unless I added out an extra layer to the side, but then there'd be no way to have a symmetrical door. So, I don't know. We'll just have it flat on top, and I'll have an attic space up there that we can use. Okay, so the first part of the house is coming along rather nice. I mean, obviously we have the little triangle things, but there's really no way to fix that right now in early access. So I went for this look. I don't know if it's how it's going to look when it comes out, but that's really not the point of this video. You guys can build whatever beautiful, magnificent structures you want, but for now, I'm just going to make a symmetrical building like this. So the first thing I'm doing in here is building a staircase back here that I'll be able to take to go up to the second floor in the middle that I'm going to have. And I think the reason I'm going to do this is I'm going to make a zipline connection on the second floor. That way I don't have to walk all the way from the shore to the house. But also, I just remembered that struts are extremely buggy. I'm going to see if I can even use struts here. If I can, it's going to be really cool. I may have to undo some walls and put in some vertical pillars in order to get struts to work. But I just remembered to try struts, so that way I can have a big open interior. So unfortunately, I had to tear up the entire front of the house in order to put down these. And once I put those down, then I'll be able to put the wall back on and then be able to make the door again. But now I'll be able to connect this, and we'll see if I can make struts then. All right, so because of the fact that I built this crazy, like, even though it's a 3/4 log with a 4th log on it, somehow I messed the height up of this one. So what I have to do is instead place down an angled log like this and start it with a strut like that, and then try to connect it in. So you can see that's created some really weird issues with the height, even though it doesn't make any sense for it to do that. And this might come back to haunt me, but we're going to see how it looks in the end. And it created a scenario where I can't pick these back up. And now you see why playing with struts can be extremely dangerous to do in early access. But we'll see how this front part turns out, because it's kind of weird. But so back here, I had to put these here. I'll probably put another one right here to close this off. So the stairs came up. It made it so we couldn't do crazy struts, but, you know, it was going to look weird anyway that way. So did this. The only strut we could remove was this. So I have a solution on how to make this look a little bit better with these ones in the front. So I decided to put walls here, and then I made it so there's wall storages and shelves right here with a little torch. So it's kind of like a place to hang up your clothes and put all your stuff away before you come into the house. So one thing I know I can do right now is I'll go ahead and put these floor pieces down in the center, because that's no matter what going to be needed. So for now, I'll leave this space on the sides open and fill it in later in case I want to have a more open ceiling. We'll just have to see how it looks once I put these sides on. So I'm going to bring this side up. We're going to bring it up to a height like this height and then angle it down. All right, so these side roofs are done. We can take a look at it from a distance. Although I'm missing a plank on each one on that side, but either way, it's going to look something like that. We'll unfortunately have to have a flat roof, but it'll have to do. Well, surprisingly, this weird angled corner that was messed up doesn't make things look too insanely bad. It does from this angle, but I feel like from the inside, you won't even notice unless you're actually looking for it. So that actually came out okay. So in order to build a floor right here, or any kind of roof or something like that, I'm not going to be able to do it unless I put at least cross beams right here or put cross beams on the sides. I don't know. I guess in this case, I'll put them... I don't know. I'm not sure which way. I guess I can always tear it up. For now, I'll just go ahead and put them down like this and put a floor down and see what that ends up looking like. All right, so that's looking whatever. I mean, it looks okay. But I may have an idea. I may be able to build a tower right here and have a rope that goes up to it. I'm not sure if I'll do it or not. We'll have to see, but let's take a look at this thing from the front real fast. So obviously I got to put these last touches on in order to make this look right. But, you know, this thing actually looks pretty good. It looks better than I thought it was going to look. So I realized in order to do the zip line, I'm going to have to build an extra layer on the front, or else I just fall off after the zip line's done, or it'll be iffy like that. So I'm going to try to build a special little structure here. So because of the way I built things where I had to do a jank thing to make this work, it looks like I'm not going to be able to make supportive pillars for this that are facing the building itself. Instead, they'd have to go off to the side like that. I think it's going to look really ugly, so I think I'm going to go with my tower idea and have the tower be where the zip line's attached to instead. We'll see if I can do that. So I built the tower, but now I've got to remove these floor planks down here, if I can. Or else this is going to get... the rope's going to get blocked. I didn't make them the same direction, unfortunately. I'm not sure if I can fix this. I may have to fix this from the top down, unfortunately. Well, that was crazy. I was able to get in here by throwing freeform logs on the ground right there and jumping my way up into here. So now I can at least cut this one off, because I can't remove them because there's already stuff on top of them. And then it'd be easier if I just remove all the ones on top and change their direction to face the same way as this one. And that's about as good as that's going to end up getting. So I can do it by being up here and right-clicking to change the direction. Once they're facing the same direction, then I'll be able to cut them in a way where the rope ladder will actually let me go down. So this is super dangerous. I really need it to be the other way, and I need to put it on this side so I could have a back square for this to be braced on. That's why the lookout tower has the sideways one, so you don't fall when you get up. But you won't actually fall. You'll just be here. Because this is just a video showing you guys how to do it, I'm just going to leave it like that. But in yours, definitely fix that before building the tower. The only way I can fix it now is by tearing down the entire tower, just so you put that square down again, but the opposite way, and then cut it the correct way, and then rebuild it. Now, I'm not going to do that right now. All right, so I put these two pillars on the back side, and we'll see if that's good enough, high enough, good enough angle. If not, I'll have to build another layer tall. So let's go ahead and do that. and walk it down. Now, if you want to know how to do zip lines, just check the description of the video. I have lots of guides on zip lines. I've made some crazy. I have a cross map zip line thing that takes, that goes cross map in 9 minutes. That thing's super cool. All right, so let's see from here. Will we make it? Also, if we fly off this, we just die. All right, it works. All right, cool. Okay, so let's take a look now. All right, it's looking pretty cool. So that's an island house right there. So you can see it now. Let's go over to the pier and check it out. All right, an island home with a tower on it. We have a way to zip line back and forth. Pretty cool stuff, guys. So I hope this guide helped you out. Hopefully now you have a better idea of how to do this, how to build an island base, and make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more videos, because I'm going to be making videos about how to make actual bridges over the oceans and lots of other cool stuff that you'll be able to do. And eventually even how to make ocean bases, all sorts of awesome stuff. But yeah, that's it for this one, guys. Check out the description for other awesome Sons of the Forest videos, log dupe exploits, building guides, advanced building guides, defensive wall alternatives, all sorts of cool stuff. Also, if you want to support me, just check out Art Gallery Simulator on Steam. It's a game that I'm making. Just go there and wishlist it. There's a link in the description of this video. But that's it for me, guys. Now you know how to build an ocean home on one of these islands over here on the map in Sons of the Forest.